gated, and they've stuck themselves to the Venge Drow. So their options are something that has to play with that timing, has to play with the aggression mid-game that you want to bring out. Some tower push would be nice as well for Neon, just to maximize that potential. So a bit more limited in their scope. Alina would be pretty nice as well. One of the Spirit Brothers could be good, potentially. They don't have the best of hold to maximize the egg. You don't have the Mars combination. You don't have the Faceless Void here. You're going to have to find a different way to get into the right spot, but maybe they're just feeling confident because of these melee cores.
I mean, you could try and deal with the egg with just the Mirana. I know it's not that easy, but you do have the leap. It gives you the bonus attack speed, so you can get some decent shots in as that Mirana. The one problem I'm seeing for new esports is they don't have the greatest initiation.
Radiant team pick.
Right now, like, you don't really have a solid way to start a team fight. Hence why I was kind of going towards that Doom. Because you can blink in, get the hoof stomp off with the stolen neutral creep spell, and just get a double Doom off as well with the soul bind. That's kind of where I was going. But either way, I think the Lina could also work. It's just going to be a matter of how you initiate.
5 seconds remaining.
Yeah, that's gonna be the one factor. Although, you know, we watched New for a bit. When they have the Bloodseeker, and they've done Bloodseeker Lifestealer a couple of times, what they tend to do is just run at you, right? They don't seem to care about proper initiation. Neon does take the Earth Spirit for themselves, so I believe that is the Yopaj hero. Yeah, it's still some flux for the Venge Phoenix. We're gonna have to find out which one is JG, which one's Januel. But lineup's looking pretty decent. They've got some good timings here from Neon. They still have to make this Drow Venge work. I'm not sold on it personally. I know you're a bit cautious about the combo. Our experiences in watching it have been on the low end. You know, it has not been particularly effective. New esports now, how do they close out? That Doom you mentioned is still in the pool. They know their matchups. They've got the last pick advantage here.
I really don't think it's a bad pick. Doom obviously very effective up against the mid-earth spirit, just can't do anything. Even against the Drow it's quite effective, right? Like, she can still hit you, but you can at least make it much harder for her to get anything done. In esports, they're the ones to make the choice, and they do go for it. Alright, so yeah, it makes sense, right? So, into the Doom. I'm surprised that Neon gave it away. That's where I'm kind of shocked. Why allow the Doom to go through when you've already got the Grimstroke, you're going to have double Rupture, and now you've got double Doom. So not only can you not do anything, but you can't run away either. You've got to stand in place and accept the fact that you've become a creep, essentially.
Yeah, it's a good time. New esports, you know, the synergy with the Grimstroke just expands so much. Like double Doom, double Rupture. As you mentioned, they just turn into creeps. There's some sensitive timings here, though. New esports have to be a bit cautious. They're actually... Oh boy. It's a JG Earth Spirit on the off, a Yopaj mid-Venge, Micah. This is the second time we've seen that mid-Venge, and again, the results are a bit shaky. Up against DDZ's Doom, you can play Harass a bit, but you're never going to stop that farm. Devour is just always there. He's going to dip into his jungle, Venge presence, and you can get some solid farm, but you're never going to stop a Doom. That's just a matter of facts with a Venge.
It makes enough sense, right? Because you don't really want to be up against the Doom in the mid lane, with the Earth Spirit, because it is a rough laning matchup for the ES to deal with. That Doom is just going to have a huge advantage. I think the Venge is probably the smarter choice, but then the problem with the Venge is it just feels so lackluster.
It does.
Like, you've got all these stat auras going for yourself, but it feels like you get a first core item, like maybe they just rush a pipe, as we've been seeing from a lot of Venge cores as of late, and that's it. It's done. Like they lose all momentum. It's going to be very reliant, I feel like, on JG and play hard, especially to set a tempo for their team that they can keep going off.
Yeah.
See Yopaj being able to snowball and take control of the game on the Venge.
No, it's not that kind of hero. I'm just... you're good for the races. The one thing for Neon, they've got to make it really difficult for Yamate. Like we saw him last time, he had a free run, but even then it was not kind of enough. I think the life stealer's a bit faster than the Ricky in that sense. You still don't want to fall behind on the LS, and that's where Neon should put a lot of pressure. You're not going to stop a Doom farming, but you might make it difficult for a life stealer to go insane.
Yeah, absolutely. So a quick shout out to Danog, John. Chat right now. Hello, Danog. Nice to see you, sir.
Yeah, I see him. Having a good time. Lots of people there interacting. Always fun to watch. I do miss me some Aussie Dota. Hope you're having fun over there.
Yeah. Of course, people were asking, there's been a lot of people asking about when Among Us are playing, right? They really want to see how this stacked team is going to go. They are the third series of the night today, so it's not too far off. You're looking at this series ends, you've got another one, and then you've got Among Us coming in. So you'll get to see them today, ladies and gentlemen. Don't you worry. They're here. And I was having a search through, John, the 20th of September.
Oh, yeah?
The grudge match. Fnatic versus Among Us in about 6 days from now.
Oh, man.
That's the one we want to watch, and I've been reading rumors, John. Well, not even rumors. They were saying this online. There's a bit of bad blood between the two, between the players and the organization. So it's a bit of a grudge match, John. I can't wait to watch it.
Oh, those are always the best ones to watch, and gonna be an exciting one. But you know, we've got a lot of good series. I mean, everyone's excited for Among Us. This one is pretty good, but the one up next, Fnatic versus TNC, that used to be the classic one for C. I'm pretty excited for that as well. So you know, just stick around. A lot of good matches today.
Absolutely.
The battle begins.
Go. The DDZ in that. What are you laughing about? You've started having.
It's that Earth Spirit taunt. It's just when you spam it out like that. It's just so the music is what makes it annoying. You know, it's like ding, ding,
the
ding,
Silver
ding, ding,
Surfer
ding, ding.
or whatever.
Yeah,
it is.
it's the Silver Surfer one. It's just the music's obnoxious. It's like ding, 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 ding. He's just wobbling around, you know, and then you've got Playhard rolling around as well. It's a silly game, Dota. It's devolved into silliness, you know.
You leave him alone, John.
Look at that.
My Earth Spirit alone.
But yeah,
it's a fairly long taunt, though, I must admit. That
really
Surfer taunt does go a bit too long.
Yeah,
Not that I mind, John. I enjoy spamming it.
Of course you would. Still, you've got the lanes up. Mozen and Yamate in the top lane, of course, making it a bit difficult for JG, and they are pretty confident to shove themselves in. You've got Playhard hanging around, but he's just going to go for the pulse. So this is the start Neon wants. They just want to build up that EXP on the Tiny. JG's going to have to settle for kicking some rocks around. Yamate is going to be able to farm these first few waves just fine, but Neon really explodes once they hit the level 2, level 3 mark. So gotta be cautious about that build up into that point in that lane. We've seen Playhard just set up for a lot of kills early on.
That he does. Looking over to that mid lane, DDZ going to be up against Yo Paj. Should be a fairly even matchup between the two. I can't really imagine either one being able to kill each other off in this laning matchup. So they are both very passive kind of calls until you get quite a few levels up. Perhaps once we hit those level 6 marks we can see it. But up at the top lane, Mozen being rolled on. He's going to try and go for a TB, but Playhard was level 2 and never committed the avalanche. So that'll be your first blood coming up for JG.
And we just talked about that lane. Level 2, level 3 is the spike. Playhard's not afraid to jump right at you, and JG doesn't care if he leaves lane. He's an Earth Spirit. He wants these early kills. You gotta be cautious about that new esports. Now, they are giving time to Yamate. If you keep giving the snowball effect, JG's gonna be off to a rolling start on that Earth Spirit.
It's a nice pun there, John. I got it. Candy Loon, of course, down at the bot lane with Barry. They're going to be up against John Newell and Skem on the Drought. Not really too much they can do to force out this Skem in this laning phase, unless Barry can land a nice arrow, but he has been spending his arrows just focusing down the range creep, which is pretty standard stuff. They do actually go for a nice little blood ride, and Scam's going to be a little bit cautious, but he will turn onto Barry, who might just drop here. Icarus dive out. John Newell missing that Fire Spirit, tries for another, but will miss that one. And now the Blood Rite is going to be there, but now the split shot coming up from our Drow. John Newell, no, he goes for the salve, and it does not work out. And now Candy Loon, he'll get a bit more harass in, but Playhard's TP'd in.
Oh,
Avalanche toss, a great rotation out from Playhard. And that'll make the trade much better for Neon Esports.
Oh yeah, beautiful bait by Scam. Just staying low, staying within range to bait them in. They bite in, hook, line, and sinker, get punished hard. And that's what you love to see from Neon. These guys just never let go on the aggression. They're running a trial lane for now, and you know, Scam, he's going to be happy with this. Like, they find a bigger trade in finding that kill in Candy.
That they are. See Mosen up at that top lane right now. He's just trying to get that creep wave to stop being pulled by JG, but they just can't. He'll get away with it once again. Of course, JG does not want to lane directly up against the Life Stealer, so he does have to go for these pulls. In fact, turning around and stealing some creeps away as well. A very nice boulder smash out from JG. He did manage to get the large cap.
Oh yeah, it's been a good time. I think you're still seeing a runaway start for Yamate, 23-5. That's what you get when you don't throw heroes in that lane. But again, there's a lot of pressure on Yamate to just make something happen with that farm. They've already decided to leave Candy Loon alone in the off lane. So he doesn't have any supports around. That does somewhat expend the effort of Neon here in maintaining the tri lane. So perhaps it might be time for the supports to consider a rotation out. Maybe at the 6-minute mark, just to keep eyes out on those ruins. But looks like they're just going to be pretty happy playing in the jungle. They're just trying to make it a bit harder for Candy to find any opportunity.
B. Mosen.
Radiant structures.
Go for those 5-minute bounty runes and just swipe one away here from Neon. However, in that mid lane, Playhard showing up. DDZ got to turn around and just run away, but he tries.
Radiant's middle tower
Will pay for it. And now Candy Loon gonna rotate in onto Yopaj. Can they save the Venge? It looks like they cannot, but he'll try and fight back. Mosen even showing up now, but there's JG trying to go after the Grimstroke. They'll get Playhard. The roll in from JG back onto Mosen, and now the Phoenix is here. So with that silence, they will get one.
Has been killed.
It's a courier. JG hits with the boulder smash, but they will not continue this chase, as DDZ has rotated back in now with the Scorched Earth. Candy, he wants to keep going, but he'll decide better of it. Back off. It's a good trade out for New Esports.
Yeah, they do find a little bit more, a lot of commitment from both sides down mid. Again, around that time when the power runes come up, so the 6-minute mark is here, they camp those runes out, and you know, the one thing that happens there is you're giving space to Scam and Yamate. Scam is having a better time in terms of farm, although Candy
is under attack.
Danger, but Playhard couldn't get the silence off in time, and now an arrow is going to connect on Scam to make matters worse, so the chances of getting a kill here are very low. Playhard still trying to get one by himself with the toss, but now he's surrounded by 3 heroes. The Blood Rite, the Inkswell, all to come in, and Playhard should be dead. Mosen will take the kill, and now Scam trying to help out. Does get arrowed, does get the star ball. He does actually kill Candy Loon, but he will die in the process. And that is not what you want if you are Neon Esports.
No, definitely not. It's still nice that he gets the kill first, so Candy doesn't get to get more EXP before finding that kill himself. But if you're new, you're happy enough, you've got the 2k lead, it's 5-5, you're clumping up bot. Look at this, Yamate's down here as well, so they're making that move on to tier 1 here at the 7-minute mark. Neon aren't quite in a position to get that done in the top lane, but they do send Scam up. So it's about that time where both teams look to take that safe lane tier 1 on each side, and it doesn't seem like any defense is going to come out for either one just yet.
Do love me some safe lane towels, John. Scam, get started.
Is under attack.
Be a bit slower down that bot lane. It's only Yamate there right now. He's not going to be able to force in that tier 1 tower by himself, but he will get some farm off while he's there. Skem is very focused on that tier 1 right now, but there is a Doom actually flying out on Playhard. But what a boulder smash! No deny, however. They could have probably got that off, but Skem a bit too focused on going after Candy Loon.
Yeah, it's not ideal, but in New Esports, they take their first Doom kill with DDZ. Not the biggest target, but you'll take the kill. It does slow down Neon's push. They're not stopping. No, they've got 4 heroes up top, getting that shove in.
Go, Barry, getting jumped on. JG, Magic Missile gonna follow through, but they don't have any more follow-up for Barry. So get back towards that tier 1 tower.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Skem will get back to it. Still at the bot lane, there is a chase now going on from our Phoenix. John Newell in danger and does go down to Yamate.
Yeah, it's not ideal. They do manage to find a tier 1 top though, so no further defense from New Esports. You still see Yamate's farming up the lane, but again, as you mentioned it, but Lifestealer itself doesn't push fast enough. Doesn't compare to a Drow Venge. And in that sense, Neon does come out on top with a tower trade, but they're still playing from behind. A 2k lead for New Esports, 5-7 at the 9-minute mark. And that is, of course, because you're playing against Doom. You know, DDC's just building up his farm slowly. Yamate's been given a free lane. Eventually, that tier 1 bot will fall, and they do catch Barry, though.
They do. JG be able to pick up Barry on the Mirana.
Dire's top tower is under
Pick up for him, and now Candy Loon gonna loop around, but obviously will not engage. Will back off. By the way, John, can't believe I haven't asked you this yet.
Mm-hmm.
Did you have breakfast this morning?
Oh yeah. You know, I had some instant noodles as one who needs to go fast does, and well, right before in the break I had a bit of matzo, you know, just to kick it up.
Very nice, John. Thank you for that. What kind of noodles did you have? Did you have those spicy Korean ones you were talking about?
Yeah, I had those spicy Korean ones. Burned my mouth. I had to add some additional cheese. It's a weird combo. Spicy cheese noodles, but they're fantastic. Really kicks you up, you know? It kicks you awake.
Thank you for that, Jonathan. This DDZ, mid lane. Have the Doom up, does see Playhard. And on Playhard, he tried to protect the Siege Creep. He wanted to save the Siege Creep. He took the arrow, but it cost him his life, and they don't even have to commit Doom.
Oh
no, and that opens up the push for mid-tier 1. There's a Rupture out as well.
Middle tower is under
Yapage, he should be right. Arrow is going to connect. What an angle out from this Murano. Now Yamate going to jump out of his creep onto Yapage. The Venge is not safe and would or should go down and does. Now the Doom out onto JG, ensuring that they cannot chase down New Esports to punish.
Is under attack.
That is a disastrous set of events there for Neon. All starting from that one arrow.
Yeah, it's not how you want that to go. They're still clumped up though. Looks like they might look for an opportunity. They're going to do some damage in that mid-tier 1 themselves. There is no Doom available. This might be a good chance to actually take that tower out.
Candy. Avalanche, Playhard trying to get started, but does get silenced. Gem, gonna focus down that T1 mid. Arrow, oh, JG rolls into it now, and they're just going to jump in. JG, he'll be alright. Barry losing quite a bit of HP, and now a great gust out from Skem. He'll turn onto the Doom, but DDZ is going to just chase him down with that Scorched Earth, but he doesn't have the damage output, so he'll turn back around now, but here comes Yamate. They'll commit the egg, and that'll mean New Esports needs to get the hell out of there. But Playhard, he's not done. He does get a 2-man avalanche off, but that's not going to be enough. It will, however, buy time for Neon to finish off that tier 1 mid tower.
Yeah, they managed to get the objective. They find one nice kill for themselves, so gonna be very, very happy with that. If you're Neon, they still are playing at a bit of a deficit, 3k advantage on the side of New Esports, but you're seeing the limits of this lineup. When they see that egg up in a very good spot, they just can't hit it. They have to run up to it. That was on the ramp in the river. Way too far out. They had to pull back. They already committed Rupture there as well. So you have to be cautious about that positioning. If the Phoenix gets the egg off in a really good spot, New Esports has no choice but to pull back.
Absolutely. They're going pretty swimmingly right now for New. I mean, apart from that mid-tier 1 tower going down, they still hold the 3k net worth lead. I wouldn't say anything really bad's happening for them as of yet. I'm sure you've still got to be worried about Skep, who is still trying to get his farm up. But overall, everything is just fine.
Yeah, the major power spike here for New Esports is that blink timing on DDZ. So he's about 1,200 gold away, not too far off for Doom. Just farming up in that jungle, and once he's got that, he's set up. He's got the War Stomp from the Centaur creep. They can just go ahead, initiate, and start blowing people up once they've had that.
Smoke up here from New. Mind being drawn out. They want to go through the top lane. You don't have that blink yet, but you might not need it. He's got the Phase Boots, Drums, and Scorched Earth, so he runs really darn quick this turn. Well, they're going to have to try and invade this triangle now of the Radiant side, but JG is going to be there to cut them off, and so will Januel. Looks like they won't actually get onto that high ground, so instead, they'll try to bait with Yamate. And behind him, waiting for the fight to start, and they are going to chase now, but the Moonlight Shadow is going to be popped from New Esports. There's the Infest, they'll turn back around, JG not expecting it. There's the Soulbind down with the double doom, and now the Blood Rites fly in. They'll pop the egg, but it is probably not going to matter, as they are absolutely melting on Neon Esports. John Newell trying to get out of there. Play Hard will do the same, but this is just a really, really bad team fight already. Skep, he'll try to turn back around, and they do get Mosin. Candy is dropping low, does go down, but now they lose Play Hard in return. Amate, gotta be slightly cautious here. Skep hitting very, very hard. DZ will TP up. Yamate, he is very, very low right now on HP. He goes back to the bounty, but they are not in position. And it is still a positive trade up for New Esports. The funny thing being, though, they didn't need to lose those two heroes. They could have actually backed off.
Yeah, they dive a bit deep for more, and they lose more across the map.
Barry.
What?
What's Barry doing there?
I wish I knew. He's in a very awkward position. He dies a death that New didn't have to have again. So these small mistakes, evening it out just a bit for Neon. Still, you've got that lead on New Esports side. You can see the effect of that double D. It's just terrifying. It scares the heck out of you when it's up. They are making plays on the Roche though.
They are, but they're gonna rush in. They spotted out Candy with a great ward.
We hardly
now they know the wards are there, but you've lost Candy Loon. He might have to buy back to defend this Roshan. JG gonna roll back up. They still haven't got the D ward off in time. Now they do, but the Magnetize has been activated. Yamate will jump in to try and help out, but you've already lost Mosin. DDZ, he doesn't have the Doom either, so you can't get the double Doom off right now, and they'll lose another one.
Radiant's middle tower has fallen.
New Esports, they're throwing their lead away like this.
They're just giving Neon a way back to take the lead. Like, they still have the 4K lead on New Esports side, but that's really just the Doom effect for the most part, and Yamate's excellent farm. Beyond that, Candyloom has tapered off, and your sports are not finding as much as you'd want. There's that first Roche cleaned up for Neon. New Esports have to stop trickling in one by one. They need to play as a team. That's how they've been winning these fights. Just play together when you've got your spells, and you can make something happen.
They're well and truly online now. Neon. Yapage. He went for that standard Venge build. He just bought the pipe. Just being around with the auras is just making Skem hit like such a truck.
Oh yeah, and
wonder now what New Esports game plan is. Like, they can't fight without that double Doom up.
no, they're limited by that spell use. They don't have hard-hitting items yet. Yamate does have the halberd, which is nice, but he needs that abyssal. He needs a way to gap close onto Skem. Every single time he pops the gust because, you know, Yamate is forced to rage early in the fights. The cooldown is hurting him. It's not a very good cooldown for the duration. It's a lot of downtime, and he's just controlled way too easily. So New Esports got to find a way to counteract that, along with playing perfectly with the Doom.
No. He's running into them. He has help coming out here from Mosen and Barry, but Skem is going to continue, and JG is going to roll in with the silence, but misses the boulder smash. Yamate will be alright to walk out. Be a big line drawn up towards that top lane where they spotted out Play Hard. Like he should be just fine to make his way back towards his base, however.
Yeah, and this is New Esports with the blink on DDZ. I think at some point they're going to want to reveal that item. You know, we talked about this being one of their power spikes. They need to make use of it. Jump in, get the stomp off, get the double doom. Get your targets right. Every single time they get the soul bind, it's been consistently JG along with your Paj. These are not the heroes you want. You want to catch in Skem, and you do want to catch in John Yuel. You cannot allow the Phoenix Egg to drop. It has been detrimental to New Esports fighting style. They just can't deal with it
bottom
yet.
tower is under attack.
Skem will get started on that tier 1 bottom tower.
Dire's structures are fortified.
Very hard to stop this bottom tower from going down. Best they could ask for is for a deny, and they're not going to be able to get that deny either. DDZ, however, does have the blink, but they want to get maximum value from that Doom, so he doesn't bother making the jump. And with that, Neon, it's not like they don't know they're around there. They're going to back off, back to farming. Skem, he's just going to keep freely hitting creeps. I don't think this is a great thing for New Esports.
No, it's not. They haven't pressured Skem at all. He's died once in this entire game. His farm has been very steady, up there at number 2, just behind Yamate. And again, Yamate's been making spectacular progress, but it doesn't feel like the farm's been doing him as much good as you'd expect. He's just always being controlled. The gust is always on point. His rage timing, it's not been up there. They do smoke up though. It's time to reveal that blink on DDZ.
Let's make it happen. They've got the Infest Bomb out with the Lifestealer on DDZ. Basher is there for Yamate now.
Take us.
It's a small 2k net worth lead at this stage of the game. It's Skem going to show himself. They're going to jump in with the stun now. Yapanch ready with the swap. He's just waiting for the right moment, but no, he won't go for it. Does get hit by an arrow, however. But they'll get rid of the Aegis. No big ultis committed, apart from that Rupture. New Esports, they are happy with that. They will leave.
Yeah, it's unfortunate that they can't really line up for the follow-up. The rest of Neon was patient enough to hang at the back, and it's their turn to smoke up.
JG gonna roll in, does spot out Mosen. Not exactly the target they want, but the only target they can really end up connecting with, and they do connect with the roll from JG.
Not so fast.
While Play Hard will look for more. Does he spot out Yamate? Oh, he's going to run into him. Should see him, but can't get the toss off in time. I believe Yamate actually spotted them out as well. They'll know they're in the dire triangle. Again, I think Neon are just very happy with this.
And they take the stacks away from New Esports. A lot of Ancients just going towards Skem, so that's even more gold, less recovery opportunities for New. And Neon, they're just up there. And it's a 2k lead. It really doesn't amount to much. That net worth lead does not talk about the state of the game. They are ahead in terms of momentum for sure. As this game scales on, the Phoenix Egg will just continue to be a bother. You can see DDZ is going to try to mitigate that. He's going for the BKB next on the Doom, so he doesn't have to worry about the magic damage on the Tiny, the slows and magic damage from the Phoenix. Maybe focus down the Egg with at least one hero plus the range supports. They still need to maximize some spells. We've been sitting with Doom up and running, ready to go for a while. And they just need to commit. They need to get at least a Doom kill, go back and farm up, because every single time you're not using it, you're missing out on opportunities.
Absolutely. Might just wait out that BKB timing on DDZ before they want to go again. That seems to be what they're waiting on. Play hard. Actually got spotted by that observer. They know he's around and they jump in, dodging out that avalanche. DDZ getting in there with style. But Play Hard's going to make a run, and DDZ, he has run north instead of going south, and he will get laughed at by Play Hard.
Oh man, Play Hard loves that when he spams it every single time, and at some point it gets to you. Still, you can see just Lon and Duno now, they're taking over, Mike. They're still in a good mood here, and you know, just a bit of a back and forth, but I still want to see them do something here. They're relaxed and farming up. You're letting the Drow actually hit its timing, so you're letting the Venge actually build up, though. There's that BKB. Maybe it's time for another smoke.
I'd say so. Just wait for the courier to come out. Moses holding the smoke, ready to go. Best out. There we'll go. Off to the mid lane it is, where Play Hard is around. They seem to be somewhat aware that they might be smoking. And, well, they jump in onto Play Hard. They want to re-engage. JG does roll in. He does get the silences off and pops the Magnetize. Now with the buyback out from Play Hard, but JG's gone. Holy moly! Very, very messy with an initiation out from Neon Esports, and they lose 2 heroes and have to buy back on Play Hard.
Yeah, a bit strange to buy back that fast in the Tiny. They might want to look for some punishment coming out here. There is still a Doom. With Neon, they do smoke up. They're 1 man down.
Well, they just committed a buyback, John. They're going to make something out of this. It's a desperate smoke from Neon Esports for sure. I don't think there's any need for them to panic like this by wasting that buyback. They could probably just sit back and keep doing what they're doing. But they're going to try and get something out of it, and they're going to run into Yamate. Now, that would be a great target if they could get him. He is going for that 25-minute rune, and, well, they'll get the swap back, and, well, suddenly, John, that buyback is worth.
Oh, man. Just a small play like that. Just a bit greedy, not having the information, not knowing there's a smoke out. Gets punished for it. That's the biggest kill you could have asked for on Neon's end. And that does somewhat make it worthwhile. They find the bounties as well, so you know, you're going to be very pleased about that. And they line themselves up for a tier 2 push. Fortifies out BDZ in with TP.
Another arrow on Skem, however, they'll get the Doom off, but the Soulbind was on 2 other targets. It's only Doom on the Drow. They're going to rush after Skem. Egg will be committed. Nice swap out from Yopaj, trying to keep Skem safe. He's still fighting back. They can't take him out. They finally will, but at what cost? DDZ will also go down. Now the toss in for Candy Loop. He can't get out of here. He wants to, but there are too many stuns out from Neon. And that'll be it. A 3-for-1.
Oh, man.
And I'd hate to point fingers, John, but that Soulbind, it was off target.
Dire's bottom tower.
We talked about this earlier. The Soulbind has always been on Yopaj and JG. That's never the target they want to go for. They did toss the Doom out in Skem, but the biggest issue was that John Yuel had a free channeling egg. No one could close the gap. No one could come in to help clean up the rest of the heroes. No one could deal with that egg. So the stun follow-up comes out. The burn damage just goes through the entire time. And New Esports, they don't have a pipe, they don't have anything to prevent that, and they have a pipe in Candy, but he was way too far out. Way of stopping the egg. And John Yuel is just creating that space. He just denies such a big part of the engagement that New Esports cannot go in. They get staggered off, they get split up. That's not what this lineup wants to have done to it.
Is not. That net worth lead now, John, is basically even. Just a slight net worth lead for New Esports now. Less than 1k. Nothing to write home about. Dota Plus is still Neon's way. 64%. So it really hasn't cared at all for the net worth advantages that New Esports have had. And now with this Roshan, if they can pick this one up, that win rate is going to go quite a bit higher, I believe.
Oh,
but they are going to try and go for the fight.
They've got to. They're on the high ground. I have to say, Scam's neutral items on demand are pretty nice. DDZ. Ooh.
Tried for it. Let's miss out. Gonna smoke. Light Shadow. Neon, are they aware this is happening? Check the Roshan. Nobody's in there. Now DDZ freely walking in. They have no sentries down. JG gonna run straight into them, getting the shock of his lifetime. But DDZ, that's not the target he wanted. He'll go after Yopaj now with the Doom out. They have the Venge, but they have not got the Drow. Skem, he's hitting way too hard. Moses gonna melt to the damage. JG still man-fighting Candy Loon. They'll get another. Or will they? Roll in, connects perfectly. They are still aiming Yopaj. No Soulbind that time either, John.
It can't be it. That can't be it. It's either Januel or Skem. There's just no two ways about it. Now that Roche melts fast. Skem.
Barry
It's like a triple goal.
gets in, does not get the Aegis, however. Good attempt from him. Does give it a shot, but it does not work out. Skem too quick with the fingers. These team fights from New, they don't look coordinated, John.
No, it's really starting to crumble a bit. And Skem's damage, man, he is like a hot knife through butter. They just all melt when they don't close that gap. And you have 3 melee cores up against a Drow, up against a Phoenix. And this is what happens when you don't manage to plug that hole in early. They let Skem farm up. He's 7-2. He's got the Aegis. He's got all the damage in the world. The high ground's opened up for them. He's even got the enchanted quiver. I believe they've got the orb of destruction out on someone as well. So the damage is just not going to stop. Like New Esports, they're limited to when Doom is up. They can at least stop the push with Bloodright. That's going to complicate it a bit.
They'll jump in. Nice start out on to Drow, but he does get swapped out of there. Still, he'll just get out, back in. The egg is going to be out still. Skem is alive. He just won't die. And now Yamate is a sitting duck. Yopaj. Some great swaps in the middle of that team fight. And they just could not sort it out.
Is under attack.
So now you've got your Pos 1 down. Without buyback, and that'll be a top racks surely going down for New Esports.
Man, that Lotus Orb play as well coming out. Just putting it onto Skem, ensuring that nothing would stop him. And just keeping him alive through all of that. Not dropping a single hero, not losing the Aegis. 6k lead. New Esports, they do have Doom up. They don't have Soulbind for a full minute. And Neon. How do you stop this now? They've got to sustain with a Phoenix. There's no egg for a bit longer. It's not a very long cooldown at this point. 1 minute on the dot until the egg is up. And they just can't run in. Yamate, he's got the Abyssal. Looking for that item earlier on. It is up, but it's not enough anymore. It just isn't enough for Yamate alone to go in.
No, it is not. Game will take that tier 2 mid tower. Of course, it's that much easier when you have the Solar Crest there on your Page.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
I don't believe they'll go for too much more. Gems is thinking about it though. He's feeling a bit greedy. Does have the Aegis. Gust out on for Yamate. Play hard with the task back. They got the Glimmer Cape in time, but it might not be enough. Still DDZ gonna jump in. He gets a Doom off, but Yopaj will just swap him out of there. Found the Soulbind, but it's too late. DDZ's gone. They are still trying to do a JG. Play hard. Another great toss out onto Candy Loon. And look at the damage jump from Skem. JG looking for more rolls in now onto the Mirana. Barry, he'll be okay. The GG has been called. Neon, they'll pull off the 2-0 victory.
They finally get that Venge Drow to work. Skem, a hot knife through butter. New Esports melts to the pressure, and Neon, they look fantastic. They bounce back clean.